All right. There we are. Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. It's Friday. Unbelievable. Um, all right, so we're gonna get into this here shortly. We're gonna talk about getting things ready for your families. Are you ready? What are you doing to get ready? Are you preparing? And those type of things. We're gonna get into that shortly. Before we get into the stream, I do want to remind everybody, are you really ready? Is anybody really ever ready, to be honest with you? I mean, we can be as ready as we can be and just do the best that we can realistically. But, all right, so before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness, and I do appreciate that. Uh, and just if you can't follow those simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we're just not going to have it. So please be decent. That's what I ask. Also, if you have any questions, please make sure that you put them in all cap lock so they stand out for me, and I do appreciate that as well. So, all right. Well, here we are. At how tired are you from the earlier video? I will tell you what. Okay, so before we're gonna briefly go over a couple of things. So I obviously I read every comment, and I do want to briefly go over a couple of things. I just again I've tried to explain, and I'm gonna have to go over everything with every step of the way because people don't pay attention a lot of times, and that's okay. I mean, it happens. I understand that. So I saw a comment that said, "I can't believe you're starting to work on a bomb shelter slash root cellar because it's going to be a combination of both." I should probably put it like that: bomb shelter slash root cellar. But so people were like, "I can't believe you're not working on your water source first." Okay, so I have two springs on the property, and I have already got it lined up. When I come back down the next time, I have somebody that is local that has they don't. It's not a backhoe, but it's smaller that it can dig into the one area. So I will be doing that then. Okay. Another comment I saw: I can't believe you're starting that. Why aren't you building your house? Well, again, until the bulldozer guy comes in here, which he's coming in here tomorrow, and get some areas flattened out, I can't do anything as far as that goes. I don't, until I sell my property in New York, I'm not going to have the finances to build a house. Okay, so let's be clear on that. There are things that are going to get done first. When I go back next weekend, okay, so I'll give you guys just trying to give you some updates and stuff to let you guys know what's going on. Next weekend when I come back down, I'm probably leaving here on Sunday at some point. I'm going to watch the weather and see what the weather's going to do, and so I may leave late Saturday or I may leave early Sunday. But then I'm going to be going back to New York. I have to do some things up there, get a few things squared away. I will be back down here by I think Friday. I may leave. I don't know yet exactly how we're going to do it, but I will be back down here. When I come back down here, we're going to be getting the solar system set up that weekend. Okay, so that's going to be one of the first things we did. Did you shake your brains out? I'll tell you what, that jackhammer, uh, that'll kick your behind. It is very, very, very physical, very, very physical. So it was fun though. I didn't mind doing it. I've never used it before, one, and so that was my first experience. And so people had mentioned, well, why don't you have a backhoe come in, and it's all bedrock in that area, guys. It's all bedrock. So it's all stone and rock. The bulldozer guy, when I showed him, he says, "Oh man, I can't touch that. It's all bedrock." He goes, "See," and the one spot that I had started digging. It's all rock. It's all heavy duty. You're not getting in there with that. So um, the other reason that I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it, I want to be able to go down about 10, 12, maybe 15 feet and then go in. So, I do have a game plan. I kind of have it, in my mind. And like I said, I do appreciate the advice. Everybody can do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. That's fine. But it's just, yeah, it will come together. Trust me on this. It will come together. The water's going to get taken care of. I'm trying. This trip was about getting some things facilitated, getting things done that need to get done, and I wanted to get okay. If I take a half an hour, 40 minutes a day, and work on the bomb shelter slash root cellar, okay, that's pretty much about all I can take. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it is very, very physical work. I'll definitely be skinny, I think, by the time I'm done with all that. But I'm gonna do that methodically. It's gonna take a while. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight, and I'm okay with that. So, all right. So, enough for updates for right now of what we're doing here. We'll talk some more on that later, and that'll be fine. But yeah, save the grief, call it a root cellar. Yeah, well, it would be both. I mean, that's the reality. It's going to be both. But people are going to, what it's again. A buddy of mine told me a while ago, probably when I was at 90,000 subscribers, and he says, "What's the matter, Ed? You can't keep 90,000 people happy," and that's what it comes down to. Everybody's got a different take on it, which is okay. I absolutely do have a game plan. I do know what I'm doing. This is not my first rodeo, so Ed, how long before you can put a large shed to store stuff in until your house is built? Dina, what we're going to end up doing, I am going to get shipping containers. I'm going to use those. So it's going to be better to do that. And that was advice that was given to me by a friend of mine, Eric. He said, go with the shipping container. It's easier than trying to get there and get the materials and build it and stuff like that. He goes, you get it, it's waterproof and the whole 9 yards. And it was just good advice. So that is, you know, I don't envy you the hard work ahead. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? I'd use a 100-pound jackhammer. You get to Australia much quicker. I'll tell you what's heavy enough. It's definitely heavy enough. Oh, so first of all, I do want to do a shout out for somebody really quickly. He has no idea I'm going to do this. I met Jose down at a local Walmart, and I was doing a little shopping, and he comes up and he goes, "You're Prepper Nurse One." I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "I didn't know you were down in this area." And I said, "Well, I'm not like advertising exactly where I am. Some people have an idea." So, but I had a nice conversation with him at Walmart, and we have emailed back and forth since then. Very, very nice young man. Not young man. He's probably older than me, but very nice gentleman. So it was very nice to meet him. So Jose, thank you. I appreciate it. You good dude. Pam in Wonderland, dynamite would be cheaper. I want to keep things structurally intact. So if I do it the way that I'm going to do it, it's going to work. It's going to work. Trust me. You guys will see. Um, what do you need containers for? To store all my crap from New York in shipping containers down here until we get things built. Until I get underground and have an area where I can put a lot of my stuff underground. Until we get a house built, and you know, and so I can have some place so I can put my stuff in a house. It's got to go someplace. The place in New York is going on the market as of the 1st of April, so it is. It's going to be like I said. There is a lot that's going to happen. This is going to be a crazy, crazy busy year. So I'm seeing green on the bushes already. Yeah, it's been beautiful down here. Ed, were you able to secure shipping containers yet? I have not, as of yet. I haven't even because of the fact that the bulldozer guy has not been in here yet, I haven't even talked to anybody about shipping containers. When I come back down, my next trip down, that is when I'm going to get hope, because the bulldozer guy comes tomorrow, does his thing. Then I going to be putting one of the shipping containers out by the main road. So, uh, hey, I'm still sending you emails for the meetup and bug out. Okay, that's cool, man. Please do. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into this, because otherwise people can get all pissed off again, like they were all pissed off Wednesday, because all we did Wednesday was talk about what was going on here in West Virginia. So, I'll be more than happy to answer more questions about that, guys. I really will. Um, but no, I'm not having a contractor build my house, Cherokee man. We're gonna do it ourselves. So, but yeah, it is fun. It is fun. Yeah, I do have my drone. My drone is in New York as well, so we'll get a lot of stuff going. So if people would hold off on questions, we can stay on topic. Okay, really, Randy Romance. Honestly, do we ever stay on topic? Really, not generally. No. So Iowa's going to cull 2.75 million chickens claiming bird flu. I've heard a lot of that's going around, and they're doing a lot of culling. I have a hard time no, I shouldn't say believing. I have a hard time, like, okay, so an example, they're saying there's been backyard chickens, flocks that have had to be culled because of bird flu. My birds, and I did this is kind of the what in where my thought process is. My birds, they're not around any other animals. They're around themselves. I am absolutely not introducing any new chickens other than if I incubate eggs to the flock this year. Okay, mainly because of the bird flu that's going around. I wouldn't want to get tractor supply chicks and then have them in with the flock, and then everybody has to be cold. I don't want to do that, so I kind of like my chickens. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where where we're at with that. Where are you getting the shipping container from? There is some local. See, a lot of information, guys, I can't give you because it kind of gives away my location. Do you still work as a nurse? No, cat girl. I am retired. I retired 4 years ago. I do maintain my nursing license as a backup because I think it's a smart thing to do. But that is yeah. I still maintain my license just in case. But no, I have not worked as a nurse for 4 years, and I can honestly say I don't miss it. Uh, I I got the best job in the world, guys. I get to get up, work on projects, work on things every day, to work towards, and sharing information with people and that type of stuff, and trying to help people in a different way. And I think that that's important to do. Mountain Man says, "Hey, people, Ed isn't going to give you his location." No, I understand a lot of people are curious, and I get it, and I do. But with what I've dealt with in New York, I just really don't want to deal with that down here. I really don't. So, and I'm sure realistically, you look up tax records and bill of sales and those type of searches, you're going to find out. And I'm sure that people that hate me already know. Okay, but not going to give them any ammunition that they don't need to have. What do you need to be getting ready for? Me and my family, I'm not ready, but working on it. Good. Okay. Thank you, Candace, for trying to steer us back into the right direction. So, what we're going to try to do here is what people should be focusing on realistically. There is a tremendous amount of fear being pushed constantly, constantly. Um, you know, it is amazing to me. It is amazing to me how do I okay, so right now Russia's bad, right? Russia's been bad for a while. Oh my god, you know, the narrative has been pushed out there for a while that Russia's bad. I'm going to tell you what, the Russian people are just like everybody else. The Iranian people are just like everybody else. All right. The North Korean people are just like anybody else because the media steers how your thinking is of these people to dehumanize them, to make them look worse. The average person, you know, doesn't always go along with what the narrative is. Okay. I mean, you look at our country in the United States of America, right? I mean, we got a guy that is our president that is, I'm not even going to get into what it is. And the vice president is even scarier. Okay. So we're screwed. I mean, realistically, we are absolutely screwed. But Russia is, you know, they're again, let me just put it like this, okay? Three sides to every story. There's his side, her side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. So our propaganda machine here in the United States is working overtime. Oh my God, Putin, Putin this, Putin that. Putin's, you know, he's been in charge, and I did look it up myself too. He's been in charge since 2000 over there. You don't be in charge of a country for 22 years by being a lunatic, okay? You really don't. Their propaganda machine is going overtime as well because they're spinning whatever narrative they're spinning over there. We the people remember the Iraq War, remember the Afghan War, remember the Libyan War, remember the Syrian War. Million innocent died because of the U.S. Absolutely, we kill people all the time. I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's do a scenario, guys. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what, I love my country. So thank you for the statement, we the people, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I love my country. Um, if somebody came here and tried to do bad things to my country, I'm going to defend my country. That is, I'm putting that out there right off the top. Okay. But I am not going and I'm not sending my children, and I don't want to send your children to go fight wars for oil and different minerals and stuff like that, so the rich can continue to get richer. I don't believe that that's what we should be doing. I really don't. We don't help these people. We steal from them. We hurt people. What are you hearing in the news media now? Oh my God, the Russians, they're bombing hospitals and they're killing women and children. What do you think we do? What do you think we do? Did everybody magically forget? And I'm just going to go with one drone strike, guys. I'm going to talk about one drone strike. Supposedly, the guy that had been in charge of the mastermind of the bombing at the airport that killed 13 U.S. service members, and that blood is on somebody's hand that doesn't know who he is, and a couple hundred civilians, right? So the mastermind, we know who he is. We do a drone strike. We put it in there. We kill him. A whole bunch of women and children along with it as well. Where's the condemnation for that? Oh yeah, and by the way, oops, sorry, wrong guy. Wasn't even the guy. Think about it. Think about it. Okay. So, you know, when you see the propaganda machine working overtime and, oh, Putin, and I'm not pro Russia. I don't want you to think that I'm pro Russia because I'm not. I don't care. They're just another country. Okay. What they're doing with the Ukraine is wrong. I will put that out there right off away as well. I'm not trying to say what they're doing is right in any way, shape, or form because I am not. Okay. But what I'm saying is before you feed into all the nonsense is being put out there by media, you know, atrocities happen in every war. Oki Forge just said, there's always atrocities in war, always. And he's right, 100%. Things happen. You justify it for the greater good, if you will, or whatever the case may be. Okay. But, you know, war criminals, I think if you're going to talk about war criminals, let's talk about when any of the presidents have been in there. We've been, who was one of them? Okay, here's a question for you guys. Who was one of the presidents, our presidents, that did one of the most strikes, missile strikes on supposed bad guys? Who was it? And I'll give you a minute to give me your answers. What president? What president did one of the most amount of drone strikes? It is Bush and Obama, both of them, guys. All right, they've killed more people. They've killed more innocent people. Are they war criminals? Will they be brought up on charges? Will they be vilified in the media? Not here in the United States, they won't be, right? So think about that. When you know, I get so tired of everybody just rah rah rah. The next thing that the BS that we're being fed. I mean, I realize that a majority of the people that are watching this stream are hip to what the media is doing. Okay, I would hope so. If you're watching my stream, you're pretty aware that the media is very manipulative. They lie. If you don't go along with the narrative, you're shut down. Heaven forbid that you have a dissenting view on anything, especially certain topics. You can't have that. So again, you know, it is it is amazing to me. It's amazing to me. And then people just they eat it hook, line, and sinker. The next thing, and it's any war is not good. Any war is not good. What? Let me ask you guys this, and we're going to get into in a moment here. I do want to get into what we should be doing. What are we at 678 in the chat? We're at 233 on a thumbs up, guys. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that, and thank you very much ahead of time for doing so. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better off we're going to be for the channel. Pushes us up higher in the rankings. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you very much. Okay. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this, okay? And then we're going to get back and trying to stay on focus on topic. What have we done, the United States of America? What have we done for Iraq and Afghanistan? What have we done realistically? These wars, the war in Afghanistan, 20-year war. My entire children's lives up to that point, we had been at war over there. What have we done? What have we accomplished? Other than killing all kinds of people, having our service members, men and women, come home either with a flag draped over their coffin, or they come home, even if they come home physically, they're not mentally right ever again. And there's all kinds of issues, and they're having all kinds of problems. And of course, because once the government uses us, then they throw us away like we're garbage, right? What have we done for these countries? Nothing. Nothing. If you don't think, now, I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? Iraq was not about weapons of mass destruction. That's what you were fed. They never found them. Of course, they moved them, and they did this and they did that, okay? It was about oil. It's about control. It's about Saddam Hussein was not going to go on the petrodollar anymore. He wanted to do his trading in gold. So he didn't want to get on the petrodollar. Libya, Gaddafi, same freaking thing, guys. Oh, somebody else put it on there too. Yep, they did not want to go with the dollar anymore. Syria, same thing. So who's the bad guys? Oh, Gaddafi was a bad guy. Saddam was a bad guy. Syria's the bad guy. I mean, come on. You know who the bad guy is realistically in the world today? You know who the bad guy? Well, Afghan was also poppy fields were part of it. Poppy fields is about a $200 million a year business. But you know who the bad guy really is in the world today? Who sticks their nose in everybody's business? That if you don't have the government that we want, we're going to meddle and make sure that we get a friendly government that's going to do what they're told. It's us. It's us. I mean, it's the United States of America, guys. It really is. And you know what the sad thing is, realistically, if you look at the big picture, the rich get richer. They're always going to get richer. And the rest of us get bent over and take it right in the behind. That's how it works. That's how it works. So, go ahead and do your rah 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 and Russia is evil and all this type of stuff. Keep eating, keep drinking that Kool-Aid. Keep drinking that Kool-Aid, you know. So that's just me. It's my opinion. Doesn't make any difference. Who am I? I'm just some guy on YouTube. So anyway, I know I'm all jacked up. I was jackhammering, yeah. So I got a green tea here. I had one of my guys in the group, John, had stopped by and he brought me a 12 pack of green tea. So thank you, John. All right. So with this big, huge buildup that we just did, what should we be doing? What should we be doing? How should we be taking care of our families? We need to focus on what is really, truly important: getting ready. Getting ready as much as you possibly can, doing those things that you can control. Food, I mean, I've been talking about food for several years now. Several years. Stock up on food, stock up on food, stock up on food. Again, and I will say it today, and it holds true, like I said it 2 years ago, it holds true when I said it a year ago. Food is never going to be cheaper than it is right now. It is only going to get more expensive. That is a fact. That's not or scare tactics or trying to do it. It's going to get more and more expensive. Take care of your families. Grab them, love them, tell them. And when I say your families, guys, I don't necessarily mean blood. There's people out there that are your family that are not blood. So some of the people that I have met through my life, they're closer than family. I trust them more than I would trust some members of my family. So, because I know they would have my back, So look out for your families, prep, get food has got to be food and water, having ways to, you know, having ways to purify water is going to be obviously very, very important. So focus on those things. And once you get those things to a point where you're comfortable, then you got to start focusing on everything else. And so, what is everything else? So, food and water got to be number one and two. Shelter has got to be important too. You've got to have either your place squared away to be able to, um, you know, shelter in place, take care of what you got to do there. Make sure that you can board up the windows if you have to, and all those type of things. Uh, be prepared if you plan on staying bugging in. Make sure that patio doors. Think about this, okay? And it's really really important. Patio doors. I had one in my house when I lived in Greece, New York. It's nice. It was nice to go out in the backyard, slide the patio door open. But guess what? If I got a big old rock out there, or if I take one of those lawn chairs or whatever the case may be, and I throw it through there, now I'm in your house. It's as simple as that. So being able to secure your location, uh, so that people can't just come in, and then being able to defend that location is going to be hugely, hugely important too. I gave a rule of thumb. I'm not going to tell you what you should have as far as weapons go. Like every place is different. The UK is obviously very restrictive. Canada is getting to that point, the same thing. So they're hamstringing people on different ways to be able to defend yourselves. But here in the United States, where they haven't done it yet, I don't think they'll ever be able to do it. We would have an uprising if they tried to do it here. I really think that. But get your defensive weapons. Be in my rule of thumb, guys, is this: for every weapon that you have, I don't care if it's a 22, a 12 gauge, an AR, whatever pistol suits your fancy. Um, 2,000 rounds minimum per weapon. So let's say you have 245s. You got 245 caliber pistols, right? You better have at least 4,000 rounds, at least. So the minimum is 2,000 rounds per weapon. There is no maximum. So I hope that kind of clears that up, right? Egg count will not be happening for another 15 minutes, but we do that at 1:45. So egg count will be coming soon, I promise. I'll give you guys a heads up real quick. Yesterday's egg count, I'll give you yesterday's because you guys didn't know, was only 2 eggs yesterday. So yesterday we had 2 eggs. So I will let you know, um, I will let you know in about 15 minutes. We will do today's egg count. So, yeah. Charles Boyd says, haha, there is no maximum. No, no maximum. So keep stocking it up. Uh, you know, keep doing what you got to do. Be prepared to defend yourselves. Be prepared to defend your family. If we have a true SHTF event, there's going to be people out there that were previously decent people. Remember, in a worst case scenario, good men will do bad things, bad men will do evil things. When there is no rule of law, when there is no rule of law anymore, think about how people will treat each other. Look how we treat each other with rule of law. Think about that. See that if that don't scare you, nothing will. If that doesn't scare you, nothing should, because look how we treat each other now. So when you're out of ammo, you got a club. That's all you got. So I mean, have alternative things as well. Uh, you know, compound bows, crossbows, those type of things. But again, once you're out of arrows, you got nothing. So unless you know how to make replacement arrows, you know what I mean. So again, be able to secure your locations. Figure out ways to secure your locations if you plan on bugging in. If you're planning on doing that, make sure you know how to secure the location. Then make sure you are able to defend your location. Again, I will tell you guys, I will say this until I beat my head into the wall with it. Groups, groups, groups. Group up with people. Figure out who you can work with. I don't care if it's your freaking neighbors. If you get along with your neighbors, make a plan that if something happens that you plan on working together. It's as simple as those type of things. Um, have a game plan. That's another thing that's really, really important that you better be preparing to do as well. So let me ask you this. Tomorrow, well, tomorrow's Saturday, but let's say Monday, your kids are at school. Kids are at school. Wife's at work. You're at work. Uh, Maybe mom, grandma's at your house, whatever, right? SHTF pops off. Bam. Do your kids know what they need to do? Does your wife know what she needs to do? Do you know what you need to do? Where are you going? What's the game plan? Because what I used to always tell my kids, I'll give you an example. Schools are going to try to lock the kids down. They're going to try to keep them in place. And I told my daughter back in the day, I said, you get out of that school and you get your butt home. That's what you do. I said, if something goes sideways, I said, you get home. When she was in college, and I talked about this, guys, then I said, I will not be coming to get you. It sounds harsh, sounds horrible. Why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't I? It it would be, say she starts coming and I'm going, we cross paths somewhere on the road and we don't see each other, then I'm down there looking for her and then she's already back home. All right. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. So if my daughter knows dad's not coming and she can put together a couple of friends and get home and then they're all safe, when they all get there, we're going to take care of them all, that's fine. Hey, Pam in Wonderland, if anything happens, I'm throwing my neighbor in the street as bait. She's evil. She tortured my kitty. Wow. Yeah, that's not fun. Well, a lot of old grudges. So along that line, thank you very much for that statement, Pam, and thank you very much for the donation as well. So along that line, think about this. Think about grudges that people have had with neighbors. Let's throw that scenario in there because that's a good scenario actually. You have your neighbor down the street that hates your guts. They've hated you. They try to cause trouble for you. They call the police. They vandalize stuff. They do all kinds of just little irritating things, right? SHTF happens. Guess what? They can come get the ultimate revenge. They can come and kill you, and nobody's going to stop them, and nobody's going to do anything about it. Those are the things you need to think about. Those are the things you need to be planning for now. Because the reality is, and this is what I'm trying to say, with what we're talking about here tonight, it's not always just about beans, bullets, and band aids. It's not always just about that. You have to have other contingency plans. Um, if you have to bug out, let's give another example. Worst case scenario happens. Now your house is on fire. You were planning on bugging in, but did you have a plan in case you couldn't bug in? Does your kids know the alternative location to go to? Does the wife know like they get back to the house and the house is on fire? What are they doing now? Gonna stand there and wait, watch it burn? Better not. They better have an alternative plan. So it's plans upon plans. There's plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. Um, it depending where you are at, depending on what your location is. City is the absolute worst place you could possibly be. If you are in a city, I would encourage any of you to get out of the cities. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I'm putting it out there. The next worst place to be is suburbia. You think you're safe in suburbia? Yeah, you live in that cul-de-sac. How many of those neighbors really, really do you own or know in that cul-de-sac? How many of them do you really know? So something to think about, okay? So again, it's like having alternative plans, having them, where are we going to meet up? Maybe there's a spot on the way back home that people could say, okay, listen, you're coming from this direction, I'm coming here. We'll meet here first, and then we'll go on together. That's another option, okay? So, yeah, I got listen, guys. Okay, so he says get a bobcat. Had a bobcat. We cleaned it out as much as we possibly could with the bobcat for doing what we're going to do with the bomb shelter / root cellar. So that there is no more bobcats happening. There is no bulldozer going to go in there and go into the bedrock. It's not going to happen. I have to do it the way that I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it as methodically as I can. If that means I work every day a half an hour with a jackhammer, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so it's going to take time, and that's okay. So somebody had talked about, well, where you're located and be drainage. If I put in channels around the outside of that, so when the rain comes downhill, it hits the channel and it goes around again. You know, have you FaceTime with your puppies today? No, what I actually have done is I haven't FaceTime with them, but I have talked to them. And Heather said they were like looking at the phone. And so, I'm sacrificing now, right now. And when I come back down here, I'm going to sacrifice again because I need to do what I need to do down here. They can go ahead and still live, and be okay up there until we all have to come down here. Once I have sold my property in New York, we're going to have a window, 4 to 6 weeks, where we got to get out of New York and get down here to West Virginia. So I'm trying to put things in place and get things squared away now. There's a lot that has to be done. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens overnight. So, you know, that's, you got to understand that. Like, again, you know, guys, this is not my first rodeo. This is not my first time jumping on a horse here. Now, when I moved from Greece, New York to the, you know, homestead in New York, that was my first rodeo. And man, I made a ton of mistakes, a ton of mistakes. But I will tell you this, it's like I have a solid game plan here. Everything will come together, everything will work out. Okay. You know, if you guys had been, will you make your coop and dog run soon? Right, right now, what I have to focus on is tomorrow. I got the bulldozer guy coming in here. He's gonna work on the road a little bit for me. I have the two piles of gravel that were already delivered. He's gonna get them squared away for me, and then he's gonna come up here in the meadow, and he calls them benches. Make me some benches so that I can build on stuff. So I need flat ground. That's what I need. Before I can do anything as far as building goes, I have to have flat ground. So that's what I'm working on. Ed, if nothing happens overnight, then how does FedEx make money? LOL. Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's fine. I like that, John. That's good. Things take time. You better have a plan. I am trying to get things done methodically and get things ready. What people aren't understanding is a couple things. Okay, just, and I'm just going to explain this real quick, and I do want to stay back on topic. What I'm looking at is two things. I'm selling my property in New York, so at some point I'm going to get an offer, which we're going to accept. Once that offer is in and accepted, I'm going to have 4 to 6 weeks to pack up everything in New York, drive it all down here to West Virginia. Oh, and then April 1st, Nikki, we're putting it on the market April 1st. Oh, and then have to have someplace here to store everything. Now, I did look in not too far from where my location is, and I say not too far, 10 miles or so. There is a storage area, you know, a storage unit place. So, worst case scenario, I rent a storage unit for a while. I bring everything down here and I throw it in a storage unit. That would be worst case scenario. I would rather have it all here on the homestead, and that way, if something goes belly up, people are going to go nuts and steal everything out of storage units that they possibly can. So there's a lot to all of it. I have a game plan. When I come back down, like when I go to New York, guys, I'm only going to be in New York for 4 or 5 days, and I'm coming right back down here. Uh, Water's going to get taken care of. Solar's going to get taken care of. Uh, then, you know, getting shipping containers in here. Once I have those type of things done and in place, then the next step is starting to pack everything up and get it down here. So I got several things that are happening, going to be happening all at the same time. Now, again, if the market, let's think about this. My property goes on the market April 1st, right? A week later, I get an offer, a legitimate offer. They're buying the property. I have 4 to 6 weeks from that point. So I better have solar set up down here. I better have water set up down here. I better have the road workable enough that we can get in and out with no problem. And where am I putting all my stuff? So those are things that have to be thought about right now. I have the camper here, so we do have a base to start with. We're not gonna be able to have 7 cats in the camper and 3 dogs in the camper and everybody in the camper. That's not realistic. Okay. So all these things are going to get organized. We're going to do it the best that we possibly can. So I'm going to do what I need to do, and we're just going to go from there. All right. So I have not looked for local containers for sale yet. I have not. I have to get other things squared away first before I even think about that. All right. So anyway, so that just explains that. So why don't we do this now? What do we got? 841 in the chat. We're at 407 on a thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. And what's your contingency plan if SAH were to happen while you were there? I'm sure Heather, Becky, and the family know what to do. They do. They do. And I'm not going to get into that because that's OPSEC. So I'm not going to really get into that, what's going to happen with that. But anyway, uh, so if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction, the better. And I appreciate that as well. So again, egg count. Yesterday, we had 2 eggs yesterday. So we have 2 questions with the egg count today. How many eggs today? And did thick neck lay or not lay today? So go ahead and give me your answers, guys. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I do appreciate that. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up here. Hey, Malachi's Corner. Hold on, I want to see what she said. Very happy for you, gas money. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, because gas is freaking crazy expensive right now. I'll give you a couple more minutes here for your guesses, and then we will go on with the other stuff. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Morning Light, and I will tell you right now, had the same guess as Morning Light, we had 11 eggs today. Now, Prep Show Radio says 11 and a blue egg. Well, you're actually, see, now Morning Light didn't put the yes or no, but the answer to that part was also yes. So Pet Prep Radio Show was both on both correct. So we ended up with 11 eggs today. It is so weird. It is so weird how like we'll have a crappy day and then we'll have a really good day. So I don't know. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, they laid 11 eggs today, and thick neck did lay today. So I know I kept waiting. I kept waiting and somebody's got to get 11, and they finally did. So you got to understand what we got. So 11 hens laid. We have a grand total of what, 16 hens. I think the most eggs we've got so far this year was 12 in one day. And thick neck didn't. I don't think she laid that day. So there's only a few. There's only a couple hens that are not laying, and I pretty much know which ones they are. A couple older girls, they're probably done. So but all right. So let's go back on topic, guys. I know I'm bouncing around here, but I wanted to really talk about. I get so tired of, because I mean I pay attention to stuff, and I get so tired of Russia bad, and all this type of stuff. I think well, the media is going to portray things the way that they want to. So what we have, like I said again, you better, not that you better, you should. You can do whatever you want to do, but I will tell you what, you should not do things that are going to cost your family members their lives. Okay? Don't do things that are going to cost your family members their lives. Be smart. Be ready as much as you possibly can be. Take care of the things that you can control. Have a game plan. Security. Have a way of communications. Ham radios. Now, you may not have a ham operator's license right now, but in a true SHTF situation, folks, it don't matter. If you got that radio, you can listen to what's going on. My advice would be, don't be on there chatting with other people, giving away your location. Listen, pay attention, find out what's happening elsewhere. Low profile is probably the key to survival. Get out of the cities. All right, get out of the cities. Get even in suburbia, you need to be careful. You really, really do. You may think, oh no, we're good. We're in a good neighborhood. These are good people. Well, there's going to be a lot of bad people. Okay, there's a lot of bad people, but there's a lot of good people too. So how do you discern once SHTF has happened, who's good and who's bad. You know, trust is not going to be our friend. People are not going to be trusting after an event. So if you can put a group together now and get together with like-minded people and plan on working together, one of the things we're doing here in West Virginia is we're putting a group together. That's going to be happening. I'm going to be meeting people, in April here. So, you know, we're going to start getting that going, facilitating that. So, Papa John Gage, next time I come to West Virginia, I want to hook up that CBI gauge. Okay, cool. That would be cool. That would be very cool. But, you know, ham radios, CBs, walkie talkies. I think you should have all of those. It's another way of communication. Walkie talkies will be good, but again, with a walkie talkie, you're going to have other people will be listening in. So again, you better. So let's talk about that for a moment. Walkie talkies, right? Great to have. Um, you're going to communicate with your fellow group members. You better be talking in some kind of a code. You better be talking in some kind of a code because there will be people listening in. So you don't want to give away too much information. You want to, change your routines. Don't get into that. We are creatures of habit. I'm a creature of habit. I'll be the first to admit it. I like my routine. When I was a nurse, guys, I'm still a nurse, but I'm not working anymore. But when I was go on to my night shift, okay, give you an example. So I go on to my night shift. I would have a game plan, and you had to be organized. You had to have your stuff squared away because monkey wrenches were going to get thrown into that night shift. Things were going to happen. Somebody might code. You may have a fall. You may have, a myriad of things can happen that are going to throw you off your schedule. Your schedule's never going to be, that good. You have a plan. It's like Mike Tyson used to say, and I always love this. When it comes to a fight, he said everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the face. So that's the reality that we all have a game plan, but when the time comes, it's going to be like, holy crap, what are we going to do now? I don't think there will be a problem in rural West Virginia. Lots of these folks have 12 gauges. There's a lot of good people down here, and I picked West Virginia for strategic reasons. Location's important. Away from a lot of population centers. There's not really big population centers anywhere near me, and that's what I like as well. And there will be a lot of like-minded people out here as well. And I think that's another thing. Once you get to meet, get to know people, and you develop those relationships, it makes it a big, makes it better. It makes it better. Like just like I met people up in where I'm at now in New York, and I develop relationships. We'll do that down here. The same thing. Uh, you know. So, but you need to come. I've been a little busy. Pet Prep Radio Show. I've been a little busy, so not spending a lot of time on the phone. So I apologize, for that. I just there's a lot going on right now, but so, but again, having plans, having lists written out, knowing what you have in your preps, having your inventories, know where you're strong, know where you're weak. Uh, Light sources. So, you're looking at candles, lanterns, flashlights, batteries. Do you have rechargeable batteries? Do you have a way to recharge batteries? All those type of things are important. They really, really are. Your beard is a baller. Just noticed. Oh man, thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting longer. Yeah. Hey, Candace, get to know people with practical skills. Find the person in your community who still hems pants and fixes zippers. Seek out your local blacksmiths, wool crafters, farmers, and beekeepers. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, People that have those skills that know what they're doing. And here's another key factor in that, okay? So think about like blacksmiths in a true SHTF situation. Thank you so much for that statement, and thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. In a true SHTF situation, you better latch onto that blacksmith Smith and say, "Teach me, show me what I need to do." You're going to need more people to have those skills. Those are going to be hugely, hugely important. So the more skills that you can pick up, the more things that you can learn how to do. Uh, make yourself invaluable. Think about that. How do you make yourself invaluable? Knowledge. And it's there. It's all out there right now. Any of us can do it. Any of us can reach out. We can all grab books. We can take courses. We can learn how to do things. You know, um, yeah. Once the grid goes down, people will appreciate books. You better have your libraries, guys. Have that knowledge. Have those books there because maybe right now you're too busy and life is in the way. And I get it. I do. I get it. I trust me. I get it. But when SHTF does happen, you are going to have a lot of downtime. You're going to have a lot of time on your hands. We are not going to be traveling like we travel now. We're not going to be doing the things like we're doing now. We're going to have to really figure things out. And having good skills and knowing what to do and how to do it can make a difference if you make it or not. One skill set, guys, could make a huge difference if you make it in an SHTF situation or not. One huge, huge thing: wild edibles. Wild edibles. Knowing what to eat, knowing what not to eat when you're walking in the woods. You never have to starve during the summertime in the woods. But people will because they have no idea. They have no clue what they can eat, what they can't eat. And so those are, and that information's all out there. There's all kinds of books on it, all kinds of books. So yeah, there's a book I want, Wild Edible. Agnes Peters just said, yeah, that's really, really important. How soon are you going to be ready for that 10,000 gallon water tank? Ah, I definitely want that. I definitely want. I'll have to let you know. To be honest with you, I got some other stuff that I have to, that I have to do. Um, but I definitely would like to have that in the ground and filled. That would be nice. So let's talk about that. Cistern, 10,000 gallon water tank. Bury it under the ground. A couple good rainstorms, realistically, if you think about it, be really good rainstorms. But you can fill that tank up pretty quickly, pretty quickly. So those are things to think about as well. But you know, focus, focus, and pay attention to what's important. What's happening in the Middle East? What's happening over in Ukraine and Russia? What's happening with North Korea? What's happening with Iran? It's all white noise in the background. It doesn't affect you directly that much. To a degree, it does, but for the most part, it doesn't. If you want to get yourself all upset and worked up and be upset all the time, go ahead and keep watching that. Go ahead and keep watching all the YouTube channels that say, um, you know, I got this report or I got that report and this is what's going to happen. That's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. I think your energy can be used in more constructive ways. We still have to live our lives. Part of living your life is having that game plan. And what are you doing? What are you doing to make your lives better? So, I've had people tell me, and I'll give you, I always like to use myself because I think it's important. Okay. Building a house or a mobile home. No, I'm building. We're going to build down here, Michelle. Yeah, I'm not doing a mobile home. Um, like I said, we got the camper and we can use that, and that's all well and good. But I use myself as an example. I've had so many people tell me, I can't believe that you are doing what you're doing and you're going to be going to West Virginia and doing that and setting that up and doing that and moving. Your place in New York is pretty much almost done, which it is. There's a few more things that could be done up there. It's a good location, but it's not a great location. I want to be in a great location. That's what I'm looking at. So my job as the head of the household, if you will, um, it's my responsibility to make sure that my family's safe. Everybody's coming down here. Mom, Becky, Heather, they're all coming down here, um, and we're gonna do what we got to do. All the animals are coming down here as well, and so it's the smart move to do. Now, obviously, with everything going on in the world, it makes it a little more nervous, I guess is the right word. You have to pay attention, to what's going on. But getting out of New York State or getting out of California, that would be the first thing I would highly recommend to anybody. Get out of there. Get someplace where the laws are more favorable towards the people. Get someplace where you don't have to spend 6 months or so out of every year dealing with crappy, miserable weather and being depressed because there's no sunshine and all that type of stuff. Get to those places where you can go and be free. And so you know what? I don't regret doing this. If something happens while we're in the midst of this, we'll deal with it just like we would deal with anything else. But you know, this is where we're meant to be. And like, and I'll give you a great example. Okay, so when we were looking for property and we found this place, and you know, Randy brought us out here, and I'll never forget it. The first thing he says to me was, "It's too far back in here for you." He goes, "Because a lot of people, it's too far back in." I said, "No, man." I go, "You don't understand." I go, "This is perfect. This is perfect, right?" The second thing, Heather looked at me and she said, "This is a place, isn't it, Dad?" And I went, "Yeah, Heather, it is." Because you look at a piece of property, what is the potential? What could we do here? What could we do? Whatever piece of property, how would it work for us to make our lives better? And that's what we looked at, and that's where we're at, and that's why we're here. That's why we're going to be here. So, all right, it is that time to do shout outs for other channels. So before we do that, we got 800 in the chat. We got 540 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. Thank you very much for doing that, and it really does make a difference with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for that reason as well. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you for all of those reasons. Yes, Heather is awesome, Robert. I agree 100%. Good kid. Oh, so let's talk about Heather real quick. So that's one of the channels we'll shout out, right? Her Etsy channel. Heather has her Etsy channel. JJ, if you would throw her Etsy channel up there, I would appreciate her. One of the ladies, if you would throw Heather's Etsy channel up there. She's got like 4 hats up there now that she made. She knitted some hats. She's going to also be making some scarves. And, she has her jewelry that she does. So definitely check her out. Go give her a little support. That's all she's doing right now. So definitely help her out. Okay. So we have Bizarizajizza here in well, I'm not in New York right now. I'm in West Virginia. But in New York, we have Bizarizajizza with the Carrington Chronicles. Good story. Definitely check him out. Also in New York, we have 80K Man, which he is up in the Adirondacks. So let's definitely go show him some support as well. We always got to give some support to Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota, Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods as well. Another couple great channels, husband and wife. Really good people. You have Angry Prepper down in New York City. You also have Icky Can up in Canada. You have Sean James with My Self Reliance and the Sean James channel up there. Southern Prepper One. Doug and Stacy is a great channel. You have uh, Pinball Preparedness. You have Green Greg's is another good channel. Prepper Nation. You have Corporal's Corner. Bjorn Hansen, I think I may have mentioned him already. You have Canadian Prepper up in Canada as well, another really good channel. You have Alaskan Granny. There is Alaskan Prepper, really like him as well. I got a lot of respect for him. He's a very, very down to earth guy. We definitely should be showing him some love as well. Also, there is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Great guy as well. Very, very smart individual. Definitely check him out. Adapt 2030 is another channel. You have Wranglestar. Oh, God, there's so many channels. North Shore Preparedness, also up in Canada. And so Bear Independent, you have Ryan Hall, y'all. Got if you love the weather, you got to watch him. Pet Prep Radio Show. Yep, there you go. He's giving his own shout out. I like that. Oh my god, it's too funny. Um, the nomadic movement down in Panama, and you also have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. So many good channels. You got Joe with St. Bernard Acres, Bushcraft Bear over in the Canary Islands in La Palma. So, Israeli News Live. I've heard about that. I haven't watched that. I know some people swear by it, and that's cool. Mary Greeley News. I really like her as well. She gives a lot of updates on what's going on with Yellowstone and stuff like that. So, but you have the Needy Homesteader, like their channel as well. So there's a lot of good information out there. There's a lot of great channels. I really do believe City Prepper is another one. You have Full Spectrum Survival and BP Earthwatch. Yes, I like them as well. You have there's so many channels, guys. A lot of good information out there. We should all be supporting each other. I think it's important that we do that. And so go over to those channels, show them some love, tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you. Some of them don't know me from a hole in a wall. Never met them, never talked to them, but I think that they're doing good stuff. Deep South Homestead is another channel, really good channel as well. So a lot of great channels out there, a lot of great information. So somebody's saying Mary's Nest. I've never heard of that one. Never heard of that one. But all right, well, Prepper Princess, Survival Lily. Give a couple more ladies some shout outs. A lot of good channels, guys. So let's support each other and do that, okay? All right, that's it for the shout outs for tonight. And I always miss somebody, but it's not done intentionally, I promise you. Have you eaten anything out of the orange buckets yet? No, I have not. I'll probably just pack them up and put them back away, honestly, to be honest with you. Um, they're good. They look good. They're don't there's no I got rid of the stuff that didn't look good. So, did you and Heather talk about Heather having a weekly stream with the kitties and the puppies while you were in West Virginia? No, no, we didn't. We didn't talk about that. She's just babysitting at the house. She'll be glad when Dad's home too. I know that. Puppies will be glad. Cats will too. So, but yeah, there's a lot of I miss them. I do. So I gotta tell you this one real quick. So we're gonna I gotta mention this. So somebody had said, "Are you down there by yourself?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't mind being alone." And I had somebody make the comment, "You've never been alone. Oh, you've been following me for my whole life. You know what I've done with my whole life. I didn't get married the first time until I was 30 years old. So tell me what I did between then. Lived on my own a lot. Had my own place. When I met my second wife, I was living on my own, me and my cat. So yeah, I've been on my own. Now, in the last 20 plus years, have I been on my own? No. But that happens. When you have children, you're never alone again. So, I got to tell you what happened here today. So, when it was very, very nice day today, it was really warm. And so we were sitting up, John and I were sitting up in the meadow, just sitting in the chairs, and the breeze was blowing. It felt awesome. Well, then we had some really big time gusts come through here. And I was like, oh my God. It was like it was definitely blowing. So that was interesting. So oh, I'll tell you what, folks, it is life is interesting. Life is interesting. I like people that will, some of the stuff I find very, very amusing. I really do. But I'll talk a little bit more about down here, just so you guys know. I'm going to basically, as we do things, and why am I doing things the way that I'm doing it? Like I said, people are, and again, and I get it. People are like, well, why aren't you focusing on water first? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Um, and I get it. I do. I get it. But when I have a game plan in place, you know, and that's what I was like when I talked earlier in the video today, or the stream, I should say. I got a guy coming in. When I come back down, it's got, it's not a backhoe, but it's a smaller version of that. So he'll be able to get it down there by the spring, that spring, and he'll be able to get it to the other spring. And I'm going to have him dig down even more on both of them. So we're going to have that access to that water. So that is still a priority. I know where the water is at. It's a matter of getting those things done. So instead of me going out there now and trying to dig down that, when I have somebody that can come in and do it for me with a machine, that makes sense, right? I hope that makes sense. So that's why I started working on, the other thing. So, it's just, I do know what I'm doing. I really, really do. So you will see it come together. And I also want you guys to realize something too, okay? Nothing is for free. Everything costs. So with having the gravel brought in, that costs money. With having the bulldozer guy come in, that costs money. All these things, they take money, they take time, and it's like, you got to be on top of things. You got to be organized. So that's all part of it as well. So it's not happening overnight. What I did in New York took me 7 years to get that going in New York. 7 years, all right. But you know, once I sell my property in New York, I will have a nice infusion of cash to do what I need to do down here. And you guys will get to see it, and you will see what we're doing. And you know, I'm not going to do a cabin. I'm actually going to try to build a regular house, and we'll see how that all goes. Okay, we're going to see how that all goes. We got to sit down. We're going to sit down and try to come up with a floor plan of how we want it to look. I want a full pantry. I want an area that's a pantry area that I can have a certain amount of stores right in that pantry. And so 2 stories. Yes, I want to do a 2-story building, upstairs and a downstairs. And so I do have an idea of how I want to do it, but yeah, this time will be shorter. It'll be faster. Number one, I'll have the money to work with. Once I sell my property, I'll have the money to work with. And so, but I'm not going to blow it. I'm not going to be stupid. Yes, I want a porch. I want a wraparound porch. So I'm thinking Southern Plantation. Oh my God, that's too funny. I like that. I love those houses, though. Those are beautiful houses. But when I got my place in New York that I'm living in right now, it is very cramped. I got preps, canned goods you can't put in an outbuilding. You can't put them in an outbuilding. It doesn't work. So they all had to stay in the house. So, yes, I want a wraparound porch. Yep. I just think that looks really cool. And then I want to have it screened in so that I can get out there even in the middle of bug season and be able to sit on the porch and enjoy the weather. I want a balcony porch on the second floor for the master bedroom so I can sit out there as well. So I have some plans. It's going to take a while, but if we're building it ourselves, it'll work. So, and for the trolls out there, just so you know, I will go through the town and I will get the building permits and do it that way. So we have no issues. Because what they care about is the taxes. That's what they care about. The mosquitoes are not out yet. No, no issues with bugs as of yet. I know that's coming. Actually, I asked John. I said, "So when did the ticks and everything really get taken off?" He said April, and I said, "Okay." But so anyway, let's do this, guys. We are, what do we got? 629 in the chat. We're at 627 on the thumbs up. Let's shoot for 700 for thumbs up today. So let's do that real quick. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, let's do that to show support for the channel. And I thank you for that. Let's see if we can hit 700 before we jump. We got like 5 minutes, so we gotta hurry. Um, Also, it really does help with the algorithms. We'll probably run over a couple of minutes, but it's no big deal. Um, Helps with the algorithms. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay, so where we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Good day, Ed. How's your back? Good. I feel good. Thank you. Glad you're here. We've got Missouri, North Highlands of California, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Connecticut, North Carolina, BC, Canada, Michigan. We got Texas, Florida, Kansas, Mississippi, New Jersey, Northern Ohio, Georgia, Mississippi, once again, Knoxville, Tennessee, Campbell, Missouri, Wisconsin, Yonkers, New York, Wyoming County, West Virginia, very nice. We got Southwest Virginia, North Carolina, Alabama, Roll Tide, of course. Uh, let's see, we got Rochester, New York. We have Middle Georgia, Queens, New York, Beech Grove, Indiana, Illinois, Hornberry, New York. We have the Netherlands is in the house. Welcome, glad to have you here. Hawaii is here in the house. Welcome once again. I want to get out. That's one of my bucket lists is Hawaii. Edgewater, Florida. We have Virginia, Florida, Long Island, New York, Waterloo, New York. We have Minnesota is in the house, Alabama, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina, Massachusetts. See, I even said it right tonight. Beech Grove, Indiana, Pennsylvania Wilds. So, nope, I've never been to Hawaii. Well, I had two places on my bucket list. One I'll probably not go to now because they're lunatics with this thing, and that would be Australia. I always thought it'd be really cool to go to Australia. So, but probably not so much no more. Maybe if they ever stop that, then I would go. But that and Hawaii, I thought would be really cool. We have Albuquerque, New Mexico, Cyclone, Indiana, Texas is in the house. So anyway, guys, we're all over the world. We're all over the country. We're a huge family, a huge network of people. We are the ones that can make a difference now, and we can make a difference after an event. So let's try to do that. Okay, let's be the smart ones. Let's be the ones that help people, teach people how to help themselves. I think that's really, really important. So what do we got? 669 in the thumbs up. We need 31 more thumbs up, guys. 31 more thumbs up. But stay diligent, stay focused, keep prepping, keep taking care of your families. We have Inverness, Florida. Clyde, how you doing tonight? How's that van doing? When I went to Pinball's get together, I met Clyde and his wife, and they have a panel van that they had converted into a really nice house on wheels. So very cool. Australia is awesome. Miss living there. Yeah, I would like to go there. I think it would be really neat to visit. So I always thought that would be neat. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators for doing an absolutely fantastic job. As always, keeping the chat clean. We have great chats because they keep the morons away. And I'm going to say that nicely. No disrespect to morons. If you're a moron and you know you're a moron, it's okay. So keeping the chat clean. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, and thank you. I thank all of you guys for being here, being part of the stream, and chatting with us, and your interactions and your questions. I try to get to your questions, guys. When we get 900 people in a stream, it makes it a little bit tough to try to actually stay on topic. I thought I did okay. I know we didn't start out great, but we did get on topic and we did talk about it. So that was a good thing. Um, I'm trying to do better. I really, really am because I'm very easily distracted. Oh, wait, that's shiny. No, So yeah, that's me. So, um, but anyway, hang in there. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. So remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we could figure that out, we're going to be in much, much, much better shape. We really need to figure that out, though. We really do. So we had 697. Three more thumbs up, guys. So before we go off, let's see how far past 700 we can get. Because I know you guys are going to get, we're going to get past that 700 easy. So, but stop letting them divide us. They'd use race, religion, political affiliation, the vax, the unvax. These are all tools used to keep us fighting amongst each other over the scraps so that we will never focus on the real problem, which is big business and the government. Okay. That's who controls everything. The governments don't, the governments play their role, but big business truly runs this country. Really, truly does. Stop paying your car insurance and see what happens. So, anyway, also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive. Stay away from the negativity. Stay away from negative people that tell you what you cannot do and what you cannot accomplish. Don't ever listen to those type of people. Set a goal and then set about to making it happen. If you set realistic goals, there's nothing you can't do. All right. So anyway, rub your arms and stretch so they won't be sore. I actually am not sore. I was tired. I will tell you this. I was definitely tired when I was doing it. Um, but I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. I'm going to go do some more tomorrow. So, all right. I will see you all later, guys. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. So, wait, it was 7:23. So, I knew we'd blow past it. All right. I will see you guys. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.